I've been asked to talk about the moderate practice of the Prophet when it comes to the women's perspective. First and foremost, I'd like to share something in this gathering. I would like to charge us Muslims, I would like to implore us as the Muslim Ummah to please always listen to lectures with the openness of our hearts. We have so many schools of thought in Islam. I personally, for one, shy away from such programs because my school of thought might tilt towards the left. We have 4 imams. I might be speaking more on the Imam Malik version of view, and you might want me to speak more on the Imam Shafi, point of view. So we have so many schools of thought, and I always charge us as Muslims to please always listen to lectures with the openness of our hearts, whereby you ask yourself certain questions. Why is this person saying this? What do I have to do with this message? How does it impact me as a Muslim and my immediate environment? If we have the basic answers to these questions, I believe we will understand that every ustaz, every lecturer, every sheikh, every imam has one goal, is to call us towards the path of good, is to call us towards Allah, is to make us closer to Almighty Allah. May Allah make it easy for us, inshallah. Now going back to our topic. When I saw this topic, there was an article I read a long time ago. It was on Google. It was posted by Uda TV channel. And the title of the article was what captivated me at the time to have read it. The article was titled, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, demoderate. It was referred to as demoderate. And it was said in this article that our Prophet lived a life that was well balanced. It maintained moderate actions in all its course. The Prophet was neither tilting to the left or neither tilting to the right. It was always in the middle. It was able to be just in his actions, in his deeds, in his temperament, when he's angry, which I don't even know if the Prophet was ever angry, when he's happy, in his dealings and interactions with humans. He is our guide. Somebody say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet is our guide, our template, our manual, the best of all mankind, that has led an exemplary life, an ultimate example for you and I to follow. When it comes to talking about practice, the prophetic practice for women, when it comes to practice in Islam, I believe there is no women practice or male practice. Because the Quran itself, at every point in time when God wanted to talk about our male counterpart, he follows it up with our female counterpart. In Quran 33, 35, verse 35, Allah would say, Inna al-Muslimina wal-Muslimat, wal-Mu'minina wal-Mu'minat. It went on and on and on. It was neither on one side. It was always for the both of us. So when it comes to our practice, when I started researching on this topic, I found one thing missing. The reason why we are having problems in the society today, it is very simple. It is the taqwa, the fear of Allah, the consciousness of Allah that is missing in our society today. Be you a woman, my sister, or be you a man, my brothers, where have we put the fear of Allah? If we're able to go back to the basics, the drawing board, and we imbibe the culture of knowing, I've never seen Allah, you have never seen Allah, no one here has seen Allah, but we are aware of his majestic presence in our midst and within us at all times. So what we need to do is we need to cultivate our souls. We need to live for Allah. We need to know that Allah is present, is within us. There was a time I had a conversation, it had to do with parenting with a group of women. And somebody asked me, how do you think you can be a successful parent? How do you think your own parents actually raised you and brought you up to have been a success story? And then I thought about it for a few seconds and I asked myself, why? All those days when we were in school, why didn't we used to go to the club? Why did I never drink? Why did I never smoke? Why did I never, I always tried my best to be upward at every point in time in my doings. It was not because I was aware of a lot of things going on around me, but I loved my father. A parent is the first God. Mothers, please listen. You are the first teacher for these children. The family is the smallest unit of the nation. When the family is grounded, the nation will be sustainable. The nation would then come together eventually to make our world. When our children love us, they would take everything from us. If you tell them this flower is eatable, it's artificial flower, but they will eat it because they do love us. My father showed us so much love while we were growing up. And the only thing I used to think then, big back then, was, how do I pay this man back? By not disappointing him. Simple. That is human. That is not even Allah. So if you are aware of Allah, if you know how big Allah and mighty He is, and you have the fear of Allah is not you being afraid of Allah. It's the fear that is birthed out of love for Allah. You need to understand Allah. You need to know Allah even before you worship Allah. The Quran has given us all of the things that we need, and the Prophet is a guide for us to understand how we're supposed to navigate through life through. So I always say to my sisters, most especially, if you go to bed at all times with taqwa, you would have the intention to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to perform salah. If you wake up in the morning and you have the fear of Allah in you, you will not pick your phone first time to check Instagram or TikTok. You would want to talk to Allah first before you go about your daily affairs. When it comes to modesty in Islam, when it comes to moral standards and upbringing, conducting yourself as the beautiful being that you are in Islam. If you have the fear of Allah in you, you will be moderate in everything that you do. When you dress, how am I dressed? Am I tilting towards this place or that place? Okay, I can achieve a balance by just trying to be in the middle. So I charge us all today to walk on our faith, to walk on the fearness of Allah in our heart. Even our Quran says it in Quran 2 verse 2, that the scripture, no doubt, is for the ones that are conscious of Allah. It says, Alif Lam, A'udhu minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dhalika likitabu la rayba fihi hudan lil muttaqin. It's for you in your heart. The consciousness of the book that He has brought forth for you is for the ones that are conscious of Him. So I would charge us today to please go back to the fear of Allah. It will perfect everything that we need to do in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Muhammad Rasulullah. Thank you very much. And that is taking us to a very deep perspective of moderation in the life of the prophets. Let me shift our attention to our third discussant. And that is in person of